Hello everyone, my name is Farhan Ahmed and I'm a lecturer at TSU Sufa University Karachi. This is the third lecture of the subject called Contemporary Issues in Business. As you're aware that I have already recorded two videos about this lecture, about this subject rather. We have discussed the first topic, that was impact of globalization on business, where we discuss how the businesses get an opportunity to exploit cheap resources, cheap workforce, uh, new knowledge, a new technology by going abroad or across the borders. So that was the first thing that we discussed, that how globalization has empowered businesses to go global. And then after this topic, we had discussed about the different political systems, in which we discussed capitalism, socialism, and we discussed which system is most suitable for the businesses nowadays. So that's something we have wrapped up in the first two lectures of this course called Contemporary Issues in Business. But today's lecture is about business education and entrepreneurship, as you can see behind me. And today we'll be discussing some of the core concept about business education in Pakistan specifically, because you want to understand that business education is specific to a particular country. So starting off with the business education and entrepreneurship, we want to understand that there is a history of business education. If we talk about the history of knowledge or history of Western philosophy, we understand that the Western philosophy started from the school of Miletus that was in Turkey, and this is where the start of Western philosophy actually took place, where we have got philosophers like Thales, we have philosophers like Anaximander, Anaximenes, Pythagoras, and then we have classical philosophers like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, and so on and so forth. So we understand that there was a starting point of the knowledge, and when we are talking about this knowledge, that was the Western knowledge. However, after going through this period of philosophy, we understand that there was a period of industrialization which was not in the too far past, which was not in the ancient past. We understand that that industrialization took place in 18th century, and before the industrialization period started, we used to have artisans, we used to have people who were specialized in particular craft, and they used to manufacture products in small shops. But all of a sudden, with the advent of industrialization, the concept of mass production started, and production started taking place in, as you're aware, in the, say, in the big industries and factories. So this is where the change took place, and this is where that's the starting point of the business education, which was not too documented at that time. But with the period of time, as we have got more and more knowledge, the business education has become very sophisticated. So when we discuss business education and entrepreneurship, and especially in terms of Pakistan, why is it important that we focus on business? Of course, in the previous lecture, we have looked at the economy of Pakistan, which is in abysmal condition. The economy of Pakistan is struggling. And not only is the economy struggling, is the overall population that is struggling because of the poor standards of life. Now, is business education and entrepreneurship education the way out? That's a $1 million question. Now, we want to understand some of the concepts. One of the concepts, according to some theorists, if we go for 16 years of education and we become productive, that's something not applicable nowadays. So for example, if I start picking a course, I start doing my schooling, college, and then I go to university, do a course for 16 years or 18 years of education. 20 years down the line, we don't know the type of development that would have taken place on this planet. So we see just recently, with the advent of artificial intelligence and with the smartphone technology, smart technology, as we have software, smart touch screen technology, we have revolutionized the entire communication system. So we see exponential growth has taken place in this sector. And 20 years down the line, we don't know how far technology would have gone through. But what we want to understand, as a student, I want to acquire skills that can give me the knowledge, abilities, and skills that that empower me to contribute to the economy straight away. So one of the concept in comparison, as opposed to the 16 years of education, is factory work. So if you get skills, if you get some relevant skills to work in a factory, some basic skills, you get a training program done or something, You'll become productive within 6 to 8 months time, and you don't have to wait for 2 decades before you become productive after doing your education, hunting for jobs, having some experience, and then being able to contribute to the economy. So that's the whole idea behind business education. And this is where the role of vocational education comes into play, where you have a specialized professional knowledge and skills. And for vocational education, it's not so, lengthy. The duration of the vocational education is comparatively shorter, and it prepares you to directly contribute to the economy. So that's the difference that we are looking at. So that's vocational education. But something that's very interesting that has happened lately, and I've been telling my students that BBA or MBA programs have become stale. They have become outdated in a way that we have got a new concept of STEM learning that has taken place recently. Well, it's been around for a decade, so, but you want to understand the intervention of STEM learning has increased manifold over the last few years, and all the top college universities, they're focusing on the BB and MBA programs, that they are aligned with the STEM learning. And what STEM stands for? S stands for, of course, science. T stands for technology. E stands for engineering, and of course, M stands for what? Mathematics. So we see all these new concepts are, transforming the world, and we see the intervention of these concepts, or these fields, or area of knowledge, has penetrated into MBAs and BBAs. So when we are discussing marketing, we do not have marketing anymore. We have got digital marketing. Gone are the days we used to go for the traditional market, above the line marketing, but we do have that. But you want to understand, things have changed now, and majority of the businesses are relying upon digital marketing because it's more effective and efficient. And not only is it digital marketing, we want to understand that apart from marketing, we do have accounting softwares. We have got accounting software in a way that they can do the job of 100 employees at once. So we have got sophisticated ERPs like SAP, we have got Oracle, we have got Mayo, some small, softwares like Peachtree, Sage. All these software give you the, power to do the accounting easily. So we understand that even accounting is changing. But one thing that is very interesting, banking is changing. And lately, IMF has admitted that Islamic banking is the solution to the problems that we have, economic problems that we have right now in the planet. One of the problems, we have got heavy indebtedness, that we as a world, we owe more than $300 trillion, and against a GDP of about $100 trillion or so. So that's another area where we see that, of course, we have to sort of like improve. So all these things that I have discussed related to STEM are the part of the, BBA and MBA. So we do not teach conventional banking anymore. We teach Islamic banking, because Islamic banking has come so far that it has become an industry of more than $4 trillion. So we are talking about a huge economy here, and that's change in MBAs and BBAs. Similarly, when we discuss instruction-based learning, that is also changing. So is business education the way out for the economic woes of Pakistan? Well, yes, why not? If Pakistan gives the relevant skills, and those skills which can give a short-term gains to the people, we can contribute to the economy. As we have discussed, that digitalization, a villager sitting in a village, utilizing mobile phone and making videos, vlogs about cooking, he's making more money than an average CEO of a small company in the city. So all these things are the example. So why should we focus on entrepreneurship? Because it is a driving force for economic growth, development, job creation, productivity. So when we discuss the economic phases of Pakistan, ever since Pakistan was created, and that's the topic I'll be covering next, economic policies of Pakistan, we always had 5 years of development program, and nowhere did we see that there was focus on entrepreneurship. Yes, there was focus on industrialization. Yes, there was focus on agriculture, but nowhere was there an element of entrepreneurship where we could sort of like encourage our local investors to invest in science, technology, and engineering, and things which can be which can bring innovation. So we just talked about mathematics and engineering concepts. Designing a parachute is not rocket science, but we don't have that thing in Pakistan, unfortunately. We do not have that type of expertise to come up with sophisticated parachute. For example, traffic movement in a smart city, and that's again is a huge problem for a city like Karachi, where we are spending millions and millions of dollars of fuel just on in the traffic jams, and you know how bad the traffic jams are in Pakistan. So all these things, be it the UAV drones which are being used in the agriculture to the pesticides and all these things, robotics, automation, these are the things that we have to be working on. And maybe tomorrow there will be a car where we will be having a hydrogen engine. So all these are the areas that entrepreneurship can cover, and it can give us a way out. So we understand innovation, job creation, wealth creation, and societal impact comes from where? Entrepreneurship. Just one innovation in terms of like Google searching, we have got ChatGPT. Just imagine what happened with Google. Google came in competition with open ChatGPT, and they wanted to compete with them. And what did they do? They did a presentation introducing the technology called Bard that was protected by Lambda, and they wanted to show that they have got enough expertise in terms of search engine, because search engines have been modernized. We have gone away from the traditional searching style where we used to have used to put words, and then you had to go to the through the different pages. But now the answer is directly provided to you by different platforms, artificial intelligence powered platforms. So innovation, Google lost $100 billion, his parent company Alphabet, in $100 billion when they searched that which telescope found the exoplanet in the universe first. Was it James Webb telescope, or was that the European agency? And the answer was, it was the European agency that had found exoplanets in the universe. But somehow we see that the answer that was searched by Bard, that was wrong, and it came up with the answer. It was James Webb telescope, and resultantly, Alphabet lost $100 billion just because of this factor. So we see the innovation, the competition in innovation is very stiff. Companies are trying to gain the competitive and comparative advantage. Job creation is another area where we understand entrepreneurship. If local investors start investing in these areas, apart from agriculture, retail, and real estate in Pakistan, we will have job creations. We can easily make small softwares, Fiverr, Upwork, all these things can be utilized by the majority of the people in Pakistan, because 60% of the population is about the age of 30, and they take profound interest in IT, information technology. So that's another area that we can see wealth creation can take place, and job creation can also take place. So societal impact, of course, entrepreneurs leave a very deep impact on the society, a very powerful impact. If you talk about Elon Musk, I mean, he has been a role model of millions and millions of people around the world, and he is leaving a very he's leaving his footprints behind in the minds of the people. So we see that entrepreneurs are the one who can show us the way forward, and we can toe their way to be successful, and it has a very strong impact on the society. Now, pathways to entrepreneurship. So before we go for the pathways to entrepreneurship, we want to understand some of the external and internal factors. So for entrepreneurs, internal individual personality, is very important, because certain personality traits are associated with high impact entrepreneurship. Now you want to discover that particular trait in your personality, that what impact can you make. So that's again one thing that you must have. Apart from that, practical entrepreneurial skills. Entrepreneurial skills. Sorry, I'm just I'm having bruises in my tongue. Is pronouncing this word because so entrepreneurship competencies, resilience, and the drive to pursue opportunities can be acquired through education and experience. So if we want to produce entrepreneurs, we have to give them the effective business education, and I don't see the business education programs being initiated by the government when they took up the projects like CPEC. I mean, I don't see we provided the skilled workforce that was compatible with CPEC. So that's one area that we could have looked at, and that's something we don't see. So external factors, of course, local cultural attitudes towards entrepreneurship. Countries celebrate entrepreneurs, as we have discussed, and they are also the role models. Like successful entrepreneurs can be the role models, yeah. And of course, their exposure at the university level and school level, yeah, it can allow students to have familiarity with the concepts and startup businesses. So yes, so we understand the local system has to be supportive to the entrepreneurs. So we understand that entrepreneurs have got their attributes, their innate qualities, and sometimes they are acquired skills, and sometimes they have undesirable skills, like they are very proud, they are very lone wolf, they have like this interpersonal attitude problem. So all these things can happen, but successful entrepreneurs, of course, they believe in high growth ventures, they believe in innovation, as I discussed, and they have innate qualities, like they are energetic, they are intelligent, they are emotionally stable. Sometimes you can acquire entrepreneurial skills and characteristics rather. So persistence, you can acquire some leadership skills. All these things are the part of the entrepreneurial attributes and characteristics. So we understand that we have to produce entrepreneurs, and those entrepreneurs can come up with the plan where we provide the vocational education to our masses. And this is a short term vocational education, it's not like long term. Of course, we have to align everything with the 19 sustainable goals, 17 sustainable goals as set by the United Nations. So that's something we want to work on. But the first point is we have to provide opportunity, and unless and until the mindset of the local investor is not changed, unless and until the local investor in Pakistan, reposes, uh, he shows confidence into the economy of Pakistan, we won't be able to attract the foreign investors and the innovators. So we want to understand, if we talk about the innovation, the pathways to entrepreneurship, the first one is new venture creation, and that's the startup business, that you come up with the startups. There have been many successful startups in Pakistan. If you talk about Airlift was one such startup. It was $84 million, and there has been a series of startups being taken up in Pakistan. But we do not have any unicorn like India, which is $1 billion company. Unicorn is about $1 billion company, and India has about 111 unicorns. There are only 1,100 unicorns all over the world, and out of them, over 100 unicorns are in India, where they have been able to create a company above $1 billion. Then we have purchasing an existing business. So that's something, a takeover, and that's something you can do. That is another way, a path of entrepreneurship, path to entrepreneurship. That's something you can do. Then you can invest in existing business, but again, those businesses have to be related with the areas STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Then you can inherit an existing business apart from taking over, and there can be merger acquisition. I don't want to go into the technicalities. And the last one is buying a franchise. So entrepreneurship is the way out, and is the way out in a way that we have to come up with new ideas, new solutions that are not only aligned with the sustainable goals, but they are also efficient, and they can provide you short-term gains. So if you are coming up with the solutions where you have got 16 to 18 years of education, I'm sorry, in 20 years time the world would have advanced, it would have gone far away, because Pakistan does not belong to the 21st century. Our technology, unfortunately, our lifestyle, be it health indicators, education indicators, overall life standards, they don't meet the standards of the 21st century, be it the mother mortality rate, be it the child mortality rate. So we understand. So this is where we want to make sure that we come up with the solutions, and of course entrepreneurship and business education is the solution and we have to become economically strong. But we don't want to go for core hardcore business education. If we are going for that, this should be related to science, technology, engineering and mathematics, but we want to focus on vocational. I know in Australia they have got something called TAFE. TAFE is an institute where they provide you the vocational education, and in TAFE students go and do small courses like plumbing and other skills they acquire, and they are able to support themselves, and they are able to contribute to the economy. So it's not a very long lasting process. So yes, government has to take an initiative in order to sort of like enable masses, and in order to sort of empower masses so that they can play their role. But the government has to provide the enabling environment. They have to set up the institutes where masses can go and acquire the relevant skill, knowledge and ability to become productive. So that's something we have discussed apart from the last two topics. Next topic we'll be looking at a project called CPEC. And CPEC, as you're aware, that it's a Chinese investment in Pakistan. We'll be looking at some of the features and features and other areas of CPEC, so that we can understand why this big project has been taken up, such an ambitious and extensive project. So that's something we'll be looking at. So till then, thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.